Hey everybody, and welcome back again. In today's video, we are going to build a simple terminal interface using HTML and CSS. Let's check it out. This is looking like the terminal in Ubuntu OS, am I right? It has nice environment. To the top side, we can see the title bar, and to the bottom, we can see the terminal's body. And in the title bar, we can see the window action buttons like close, minimize, and maximize. And we also can see the username with its authorization in the middle of the top bar. And in the terminal body, which has this color, we also can see the user with its authorization with a $sign and the blinking cursor, which means you can type a prompt here. So today we are going to create this magic and become like operating system designers. But before we start, please like the video to motivate me, then sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. First, let's look at our HTML. We have a body element, and inside it, there's a div with a class called terminal container. This container will hold the entire terminal interface. Inside terminal container, we have another div called terminal toolbar. This is the top part of the terminal that looks like a window toolbar. Inside the toolbar, there is a div with a class buttons, which contains 3 button elements. The first button has a special class called btn red, and the other 2 buttons just have the default btn class. These buttons will visually represent the red, yellow, and green buttons you see on a typical terminal window. Next to the buttons, we have a paragraph with a class user, and it contains some text, John Doe at admin, followed by a tilde character. This will show the current user and location in the terminal toolbar. After the toolbar, we have a div with the class terminal body. This is the main area of the terminal where commands and output will appear. Inside terminal body, there's a div called terminal promptee. This contains 4 spans. The first span has the class terminal user and displays John Doe at admin. The second span has terminal location and shows the tilde. The third span is terminal bling, showing a $sign for the prompt symbol. The fourth span is terminal cursor, which will represent the blinking cursor. This is the whole HTML structure for this project. We don't need any elements anymore. Now let's move on to the CSS that styles our terminal. First, we have the body element. We set display to flex so that we can center our terminal container both horizontally and vertically. We use justify content set to center and align items set to center. The height is 100 VOH, so it takes the full viewport height, and margin is set to 0 to remove default spacing. Finally, we set the font family to Inter. Next is the terminal container. It has a fixed width of 230 pixels and a height of 194 pixels. This defines the overall size of the terminal. For the terminal toolbar, we use display flex and align item center to align its children vertically. Its height is 30 pixels, and we add padding of 0.8 pixels. The background is a linear gradient that goes from FFF54B-45 at the top to FF3C3B37 at the bottom. We also add border top left radius and border top right radius of 5 pixels to give the top corners a rounded look. Inside the toolbar, we have the buttons container. This uses display flex so that the 3 buttons are laid out in a row. Each button has width and height of 12 pixels, margin right of 5 pixels, background as a linear gradient from FF-78-71 to FF-59-5953, border set to none, and border radius of 100% to make them circular. The btn red button overrides the background and sets it to FFEE41-1A. We also add a hover effect on all buttons so that the cursor becomes a pointer. The user paragraph inside the toolbar has a margin left of 6 pixels, font size of 14 pixels, line height of 15 pixels, and color FFD5D0CE. This covers the body, terminal container, toolbar buttons, and user text styling. Now let's style the terminal body. This div has a height calculated as 100% minus 30 pixels, which accounts for the toolbar height. We set margin top to -1 pixel to slightly overlap the toolbar edge and padding top to 2 pixels so the content is not stuck at the top. The font size is 12 pixels and the background is a semi-transparent dark color using RGBA with values 56, 4, 40.9. We also add border bottom left radius and border bottom right radius of 5 pixels to round the bottom corners of the terminal. Inside terminal body, we have terminal prompt. This uses display flex so that all the span elements inside line up horizontally. For all spans inside terminal prom T, we add margin left of 4 pixels to create some spacing between each part of the prompt. The terminal user span is colored FF7E-28 to make the username stand out. The terminal location span is colored FF48-78-C0, giving a distinct color for the location. The terminal bling span, which contains the prompt symbol, is colored FFDDDDDD. Finally, the terminal cursor span is given a width of 5 pixels and height of 14 pixels. It also has an animation called Kerbal that runs over 1200 milliseconds, uses a linear timing function, and repeats infinitely. This creates the blinking cursor effect in the terminal. We define the Kerbal animation using keyframes. At 0%, the background is set to FFFFFFF. From 49%, it remains FFFFFFF. At 60%, it becomes transparent and stays transparent until 99%. Finally, at 100%, the background returns to FFFFFFF. This cycle makes the cursor blink on and off. So now our amazing terminal is ready and looks perfect. And that's it for this part of our tutorial video. If you like the video, please like it. I'm sorry I'm saying it again. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. So have a nice day. See you in the next amazing project. Bye.